night from Nikola Jokić was ruined by a wild sequence as Russell Westbrook stole the ball on one end in closing seconds, missed a layup, and then fouled Nickeil Alexander-Walker in the corner. He would make two, miss the last on purpose for the Wolves to survive in double OT. Here's Ann Edwards on the wild night.
That might have been the best game of my life, that I've been a part of. Nikola Jokić, bro. Oh my God, he might be the best basketball player I've ever seen, close up. Besides myself, bro, he's incredible.
I mean, when we beat them, we won the championship. So I think we can beat them. You know, it's players are different. They're a good team. We give them credit, but I think we are good too. You know, we just in playoffs, everything is different. So it can happen. You know, they can beat us. I'm not saying, but I think we can beat them too. We can beat them too.
All right, more impressed with Jokic's performance or disappointed in Westbrook's end to the game? Mad Dog, you take it first.
I have to say Westbrook. That was a horrendous. I mean, he missed a layup, and then he fouls a three-point shooter at the end of the game. Let him make this. Let's see if he can make this shot. He's a 35% career three-point shooter. Don't put him at the line. And by the way, for the second time in 3 years, I'll give you one guess who told me to take the over.
Fat Rob.
No, to take the over of a particular team.
Stephen A?
2 years ago, it was the Wizards, and he swore on. Don't look at me that way.
He's staring right into your soul right now, by the way.
You're like the face of ESPN Bet. Get it together.
Don't you?
That would have to be you.
You left that.
Molly's mine.
You left that deli.
Molly's money line.
Yeah, you left that deli because I had a picture up there on that deli, and you left it.
Yeah, he's
and
got a
you
biggie,
told
though.
me to take Denver. You love Denver as an over 51.5. So I needed Denver to win the game yesterday. They had lost the Wizards twice. They lost the Bulls at home. They got killed by Portland, and that's a horrendous loss last night. I mean, the guy scores 61 points. He has a triple-double. They finally have the game in hand, and Westbrook misses a layup. And then he commits to foul at the end, and they make the 2 free throws. And now the Timberwolves have beaten them, 5-6 times in a row? They knocked them out last year in the playoffs. They're 4-0 against them this year. I'd be worried about Denver. But Jokić is so great. You know, he's the best offensive center, maybe offensively in the history of the NBA.
Oh, I'm glad you're coming around. I'm glad you're coming around. This is good.
You just
it's a big
give
step
props
for you.
to a present-day NBA
Not
player?
Bill Walton.
Standing ovation.
Oh, okay.
Offensively. He's not great defensively, but he does everything. He shoots the three. But the Westbrook 2 plays at the end of the game, that's going to cost me, and of course you, at the end of the day, you're going to help me pay for that loss. That was one of the worst decisions on those last 2 plays.
Your energy is very interesting right now. I don't know how to read it, and I don't like it.
It's bad vibes.
I don't like it because he's conniving. He's up to something, and I can't figure it out, and I don't like it. All right. Russell Westbrook, number one, why even shoot the layup?
That's true.
Pull the ball out.
Absolutely.
Allow your defense to get set after you make 2 free throws, right? That was my thing for us. Fine. I mean, 140 points. He accounted for more than 75% of the team's points by his damn self. I think SGA is going to win the MVP. That's the best player in the NBA right now.
Oh, absolutely.
That is the best player in the NBA.
Plenty of times Michael Jordan didn't win the MVP, and we knew he was the best player in the
My thing with Jamal Murray back and Michael Porter back, I think them and Golden State are probably the biggest threat to OKC.
Well, let me say this to you. It's getting very interesting. I loved it. That was a fantastic game last night, no doubt about it. The story is Nikola Jokić. I mean, a 61-point triple-double, and you're going to bring up Westbrook. And you also have to understand something. Westbrook would be, and I mean no disrespect, because I got a lot of respect and love for this future Hall of Famer. But the bottom line is that kind of play, those kind of mishaps, unfortunately, I'm not talking about the missed layup. I'm talking about the decision-making.
Decision-making.
The decision-making is something that has plagued him throughout his career. It plagued him. A lot of people thought that was one of the reasons Kevin Durant left OKC to begin with, for crying out loud. We know his talent in terms of how great he's been throughout his career and stuff like that. But when the decision-making, when it's questionable, That's not a surprise. That's something that's religiously been associated with him. It's just that we haven't had to say that since he's been a Clipper and now that he's a Denver Nugget. But OKC, obviously Houston, of course the Los Angeles Lakers, that has been a question mark about Russell Westbrook. Certainly not his talent, his work ethic, his tenacity. Nobody would ever question that about Russell Westbrook, which is why he's a Hall of Famer. Having said that, because it's not that big of a surprise, as unfortunate as it is, Jokic is a story, man. 61 points, 10 rebounds. This brother is, listen, I saw this, there was one play when Rudy Gobert is like 7'1", 7'2", and he's big. No. I remember one time when he just moved him with one arm, like for a little short hook. It's like he's moving him out of the way like it's paper. I'm looking at we underestimate how powerful Jokic is. He's a strong, strong brother because you just see him. I'm looking at Ant-Man against him. Ant-Man looks like a child next to him, like a little kid. He's so big, he's so wide, and he's just backing him down. It's like, what are we supposed to do with this guy? Jokic is special. There is no question about that. But I got to give props. That's the answer to this question in terms of Jokic. But we'll get into the game, and that's where I want to go because this brother Ant-Man is somebody special. We going to talk about him a little bit.
Jay, let me ask you this. As the playoffs are approaching, are you higher on the Wolves or the Nuggets?
I think the Nuggets have a higher ceiling because of having a guy like Jokic. Now, the question for the Nuggets is the health of Michael Porter Jr. And then Jamal Murray. But I think with a fully completed team, they provide different matchup issues for Lakers, for OKC because of their experience. I think Golden State can too because of the way they spread the floor. But the ceiling is definitely higher. And I love Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man is special. 10 points coming into the fourth quarter last night to finish the game with 34 points. I do think teams have started to figure it out, and they've seen it last year where they started running a ton of double teams at him, and they forced him to become a playmaker, and we'll see how he handles that down the stretch. But, like, I'm not going to sleep on how good Denver is as a team.
Denver is the answer to this question if you're just talking basketball. I'm getting emotional right now.
Talking
I want to get emotional right now.
You have emotions?
Yes, I do. You know what I'm saying?
I know who Ant-Man reminds him of.
This brother Ant-Man. Dougie, Jay, Molly, let me tell you something right now. Ant-Man is one of the greatest shows in basketball. And I'm going to encourage the NBA and everybody involved to continue to watch this brother and put that brother on national television because he is something to behold. We know this brother he goes airborne. It's a problem. We understand that. Have you seen the way he works on his shot? Have you seen his jumper improve? Have you seen his? He scored 13 points in the last 6:30. What is it? The last 6:53 of regulation. All right, back-to-back threes. All right, to put him up. I'm just watching his game. It's Jordan-esque. You understand what I'm saying? And he shows up when it counts. He's one of those cats. If you're watching it on TV, you're looking at your clock and right, game winded down. He's going to respond at some point. This is what he does. And when you talk about who you should want to see as these playoffs are about to unfold, that's a brother I want seeing as often as possible. I'm looking at Minnesota. They got size. They can play some defense. We get all of that parts. It's about Ant-Man. He ain't no point guard. You understand? Having him making the decisions, I don't need that from him. I need the ball in his hands. He's the brother you can give the ball to and say, take me there. Here's another emotional element that I'm throwing into the mix. Denver losing now only has a half-game lead on L.A. for the 3 seed. L.A. at the 4th seed, you get to the first round, you got to play OKC in the second round. I think you're going home.